Welcome to the Jacked Up Pre-Race Podcast. It's a 2025 Canadian Grand Prix. Let's talk about it. Stick around to the end to see my prediction. But first, let's recap last year's race. Like almost all races in Montreal, Saturday and Sunday were thrilling. The Ferraris and Perez were the biggest flops on Saturday, no doubt. None of them made it into Q3. The highlight performers were my Ricky Bobby. Oh, I miss him. Who obtained an excellent P5 finish, only a tenth and a half off pole position. But the story of the day was no doubt the battle between George Russell and Max Verstappen. They were trading tenths over the lap. George came over the line first and set his time and got provisional pole. Then comes Max, sets the exact same lap time down to the final decimal place and finishes second because George set his lap before him. This is literally the closest gap you can ever have between a 1-2 in a qualifying session. On Sunday, wet weather, changeable conditions, and a three-way battle for the lead made this race an instant classic. With everyone starting on inters aside from the two Haas drivers who started on extreme wets, the race began. George holds the lead at the start, covering off Max Verstappen into the first corner, and after 8 laps, Kevin Magnussen gained 10 positions from P14 to P4 in what was some of the greatest opening laps you will ever see, carving up the field on grippier tires. The three drivers of Verstappen, Russell, and Norris were battling it out for the rest of the race, trading positions back and forth. At the end of it all, after positions changed and calls were made, Verstappen wins, Lando comes second, and George comes third after a bold and brilliant move on his teammate Lewis Hamilton in the dying laps of the race. Absolutely a 9 out of 10 for me. What do you guys think? Will the race this weekend top that one? Let's talk news. So the two big headlines this weekend were, 1, will Max Verstappen get a race ban and receive his final penalty point? Or 2, will Lance Stroll be able to race this weekend? With Max, I think the key question here is, can he change his driving style enough or just simply stay out of harm's way just for one weekend? One weekend alone, Max. That's it. Surely he can, right? But it is easier said than done. All it takes is one first lap incident or a pit lane error. What do we think? Will Max Verstappen get a race ban this week? If he does, that would have huge implications on the championship fight. It will all about confirm the inter-team rivalry and battle we're having between Oscar Piastri and Lando Norris for the remainder of the season. Let's talk hypotheticals here. Who do we think would take his seat if he was banned? It's got to be Hadjar, right? Just one race, we'd get to see the true pace of the car without Max in it. Is it just truly a midfield car, or are Lawson and Tsunoda truly underperforming? What if Hadjar does better than Tsunoda? What on earth would Red Bull do then? Would Red Bull be impulsive enough to drop Tsunoda? Seems too irrational to me, but man, if Max does get banned for the next race, chaos could ensue. We just received news today that Stroll is able to race this weekend. Good for him, he gets to race at his home weekend. Now, how will it affect his performance? Time will tell. But will it be like Bahrain in 2023? Will he cook again? Or will we get another classic Lance Stroll moment? Tensions seem to be rising at Aston. Lance does have an infinite leash with his dad at the helm. But will there come a time where business trumps the personal? I don't really think so. I know people have been saying, oh, he could be dropped because he lost his temper in Spain. It's just not going to happen, guys. I'm sorry. I know most people don't like Stroll and don't think he deserves to be in F1, but I'm sorry, as long as his dad's there, it's just not going to happen. What do you guys think? Will that time come where he's let go? Now, finally, what you've been waiting for. My predictions for this weekend. Who's on pole? I'm going to go with Lewis Hamilton. He needs it, man. After that race last time out, getting overtaken by Nico Hülkenberg in the final laps of the race, that must have put a massive dent on his ego. He is really good around this track. After all, he got his first pole and his first win here ever in F1. He can do it again, at least on a Saturday. We saw him in the sprint in China, and I really do hope that this weekend would truly reinvigorate him. If it doesn't, I fear his mental state could go in a bad place, or worse than it is right now. My podium: in third, I'm going with Lewis again. He's not going to be able to convert a pole to a win here in Canada, but nonetheless, he will show quick pace and promise, and he will get his first podium of the year. It would definitely be a stark contrast to the last race. In second, I'm going to go with Oscar Piastri. He won't get a back-to-back win. He wasn't brilliant at this track last year. He was a bit off the pace compared to his teammate. He will be close to the win this year, but I think he has a bit more to learn around this track. I don't think he will quite get the win. In first, I mean, it's got to be Lando Norris, doesn't it? I think he was so quick around here last year. He had the strategy call go against him in the race. But I mean, I haven't gotten a winner right yet this year. I know, bad, right? But Lando was so good here last year, and I just think he's going to come back and fight back against Oscar's attack from last race in Spain. Comment your podium below. Now, for my jacks on, jacks off for the Canadian Grand Prix. My on, Isaac Hadjar. He's been on fire lately. This confidence has surely got to help his form. Racing Bulls did really well here last year, as I mentioned before, with Ricciardo being only a 10th.5 off pole position. As a result, I predict another high points finish for Hadjar. My off, hope you guys are ready for this. Max Verstappen. He'll get banned. That's my prediction. He will get banned. If he does, no matter how quick he is this weekend, he will be my off for the Canadian Grand Prix. Fair? Yes or no? Let me know in the comments. Finally, my two crazy predictions. One, Ferrari will be quick around Canada. Bold considering they pretty much sucked last year around here. Sainz had his own moment and spin in the race, and he caused Albon to be collateral damage. They were slow, just genuinely slow. They didn't have pace to get into Q3, and they weren't doing that great in the race either. Two, Stroll will outperform Fernando Alonso. Bold, abso-flipping-lutely. Even with a recovered hand. But I'm so keen for this weekend, guys. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Please hit that like and subscribe button. I'm Jack, and you watched Jacked F1.